Okay, I have a craft fair coming up this weekend. And I am packing everything up. I finished making the last of the stuff I needed for this particular weekend, and I thought I'd bring you along with me with what I'm bringing and how I'm packing it and the whole 9 yards. I actually made another video about 2 weeks ago. I was going to go to another craft fair, but I got there and I left within 10 minutes. I could see that was going to be going nowhere. But this particular fair, I went to it in April. It was great. And so I presume it will be even better because now it's been going on for several months. My big fear right now, or my only real concern, is the incredible heat. It seems like the last couple markets they've had there's been incredible heat, and we're going to have a very hot day. They were predicting in the 90s. Now it's down to the 80s, which is doable, but it does complicate things. I got my nursery license and was going to bring plants because those always go over well, but it is simply too hot to bring plants to this. So I'm just going to bring my beaded jewelry, and I have some new things and some things for Halloween. So let's get started and see what I have and what I'm bringing, and I'll take you to the fair with me and we'll see how it all went. So here's the Halloween collection, I guess you could say, of pendants. Sorry about the reflection of the picture in the tray here, but it's the only place I can do this. So I'm going to put them on these chains. I've got these snake chains. I've got two different lengths. A longer length, I want to say 22 inches, and a shorter one, I think 20 inches. They're just for different looks and different lengths and different neck types, this, that, and the other. So I'm not sure if I should pre-string them onto the necklaces or let people make their minds up. I'm not quite sure what to do. What I do know is when I go on Saturday, I'm just going to have them like this and decide when I get there. So I have a little spider here and another spider and a witch, spider web, pumpkin for the classic look, a bat, another spider web, and a hand. I have some large sizes and small sizes, and I actually got a special tool to make those loops that hold the beads on above the little charms. I'd gotten the charms at Amazon, a Halloween pack, and I really like them. I have a lot of the same charms that I used in the necklace. I have small ones, large ones. Just gonna see, it's kind of an experiment. All this Halloween stuff, we'll see how popular it is. You just never know. So I thought I'd try with this, and if it looks like it's going well at this flea market, there's one or two more things going on between now and October, and I'm willing to make more. Here are some of my flower and nature ones. I have some dragonflies and different colored beads with like matching charms or whatever. It's got I think that's a clay bead. Some daisies. A little green one. These are fun. I got those charms for the summer, and they've been going pretty well. I got inspired by the beach this summer, so I got some ocean-themed charms, like this one, and the starfish. Had a lot of starfish. Here's some dolphins, and I had some enamel ones too. I'm experimenting also with this black tie thing where you don't use glue, you just tie them and then tie the knots up. I've seen people wearing them like that too. So I have several bracelets that are like that right now, and I'm just going to see what seems to go better, what people feel more comfortable buying. Everything's always a little bit of an experiment. I made a little investment and got these larger pendants, dragonflies. They had butterflies, dragonflies, and a couple of other things. So I thought I would start with one or two and see how they go. I'm going to be charging more money for these, probably $15. And I also purchased these cords, adjustable cords, and then I attached the pendants to those. So these are the dragonflies. And here are the hearts, also fairly large size. Here's my hand. I wore one of the dragonflies last week just to see what it was like. I went out went out one Sunday, and it was very comfortable. It looked nice. A couple people mentioned how nice it looked, and it's nice to have a big piece of, like maybe a statement piece of jewelry from time to time. I tend to wear just small little choker type necklaces, so this was a step outside of the ordinary for me, but it got a good reception, and I think the hearts will too. They're on those same adjustable cords. I purchased these on Amazon, and from time to time somebody wants a solid colored, just elastic bracelet, so I have them on a special stand, I guess. People like to fool with them and try them on, so they're just floating around there in the background. I thought if these, I've also thought of adding charms to these. We'll see how well they go in the next couple markets, just like they are. Here are my child-size bracelets. These are less expensive. They're $3 each, 2 for $5. I have a variety. I have these colorful ones and some of these memory wire ones. I have some ocean-themed ones like I did for the adults, and some Halloween, and a soccer ball, stuff like that. Again, it's all just an experiment to see what goes, what people like. Worst comes to worst with this, I just cut the elastic, take it apart, and make something else with it. Everything's renewable. No charm elastic bracelets, just with beads. And here's where it all started 12 years ago with memory wire and seed beads. I still display them. They don't go as quickly as they used to when I was making them. Styles change, but sometimes people want one like this. I have some of my own. I love to stack them. These are all nicely stacked, so I'm not going to undo them. I'll show them to you when they're already on the on display. But these are also seed bead necklaces I made 12 years ago, and they sell from time to time, especially if they have charms on them. I've been bringing everything in this little carry-on suitcase with the wheels, and it's worked for a while. On top there's my cash box, and underneath I have different bracelets and things in different containers. The containers aren't the most efficient, I understand that, but I'm starting to run out of room in this because I have other things I need to put in there. I'm thinking I might try to put them in one of those Costco just square containers. If I bring a little wagon with me, then I don't have to worry about this having wheels or not. I just went to the post office and picked this up. It's actually an umbrella. I'd love to have a canopy, and not having a canopy has really held me back from doing a lot of the flea markets and craft fairs this summer. But I'm only one person, and I cannot lift that canopy, any canopy, into the car, lift it over to the place, set it up. Most everyone else who does this usually goes with a partner of some sort, but I'm generally by myself. So I had to come up with a solution for this weekend and beyond that would give me some sort of protection. So this is it, I hope. I'm going to take it apart in a little bit and put it together and see what I can do with it. So here it is out of the Amazon box. I think what I'm going to do is put it together right now, a day or two before the event, see how it looks, how it goes. It got very good reviews insofar as standing up to wind and all sorts of stuff. It's just a small umbrella, and if it'll keep me kind of cool for a while out there, it would be great. I think you can fit 2 people under there fairly comfortably. Yes, extremely satisfied. It can go higher, it can tilt, it has these nice legs, and it all fits into a little carrying bag right over here. So this will be great. It'll be just great. So I'm going to take this down and put it in the carrying bag, and it'll go into the back of the car. And it does actually fit quite nicely in the carrying bag. That's not always the case. I'm still going with the one table. When I would take the plants, I would have another table. This is a very light card table. I have some of the ones from Costco that are heavier and not the 3 foot by 6 foot ones, but the ones that are kind of, I think, 3 foot by 4 foot. I know you know what I mean. They're plastic. And I do have some of those down in storage, but again, they are very heavy for me. So right now I'm just doing with this card table. All right, in an effort to lose the carry-on with the wheels, because now I want to put everything in the wagon, I'm going to try to fit everything I have here into this container. This is one of those containers from Costco, and it's going to be a little bit shaky, but I'm going to be working this out with you at the same time. It does fit, but it's a little too high here on the side. It doesn't need to be as high as it is, but it's what I've got right now, so maybe at some point I can put other things in there to make it worth the space. I have my charm bracelets in these containers from Dollar Tree because they protect them. I've got the Halloween bracelets and the Halloween charms in this one. And here I have my nature bracelets, like with the flowers and the dragonflies, and then some of my ocean bracelets there. And then everything else I have is in plastic bags. They don't need the same level of protection, so I'm just going to place them wherever. I am going to have to let the air out of some of these. Maybe not, maybe the air protects them. Grab this one. Well, that's pretty good. I have these 2 containers of snake chains, which I'm going to put there as I create the Halloween necklaces. These 2 long white packages are those stone dragonfly and stone heart necklaces. I've wrapped them up in tissue paper and put them in some bubble wrap to protect them from jostling. Hopefully I'll sell some, but I'll have less to bring home. The only thing I don't have room for is my cash box, but the cash box isn't as important as the cash, so I'll just take the envelope out and put it in here. I like to have everything of value in one box, in one place, so that can be the first to go into the car and the last thing to come out. Well, getting this all to fit into this one Costco container has been great. I have another bigger container for items like the jewelry stands and tablecloths and that. That's the bigger box, and we'll go through that too. That box is pretty much perfect. I'm going to have to add the cash box to that, and also I have a notebook and some pens and other things, scissors I like to have on hand, but I'm sure I can slip it into the bigger container. But let's check it out anyway. Okay, here is my setup box with everything I need to set up, of course, without the chairs or the table. I'm going to have to add some things, and hopefully it'll all fit. I have an under tablecloth and a tablecloth for on top. I will be folding this in half. I would like to sew something that goes down the sides like it fits it like a box. If I have just a long tablecloth, then all the ends come out and people can trip. So for right now, I've got this this way. I'll just fold the lace tablecloth on top, and I'll have like 2 surfaces, I guess you can say. Here are my 2 price stands here with the children's bracelet prices. There's a children's tray, and then the prices for everything else. I'm going to have to raise my prices. I've been going to markets where the entry fee is real low, but as we get into the holiday season, the entrance fee for some of these fairs is a lot higher, and it's going to take me forever selling stuff just to pay off the entrance fee, let alone any of the other costs. So this was kind of a beginning price. It's done pretty well with events that are kind of low population, but I'm going to have to raise it a couple of bucks everything. We'll see how Saturday goes. I have some plastic bags and another cloth. If I have to leave the table and somebody's in charge and there's a lot of people there, I just lay everything down and put this cloth on top. I haven't needed to do it very often, but it's just an extra level of safety if I have to leave the table to go to the bathroom, and I'm not sure that anyone else is going to be watching it, even though I asked. Here are my stands. I love these new stands. You have to screw in the stands into the base when you get there, but that is so wonderful because everything can be stored flat like this. I just purchased one for the long necklaces, and that will fit in there too just fine. The ones that I have in right now are 3-tiered for bracelets and necklaces. I have a mirror, of course, and then I have several different types of trays, some silver tone trays and some clear trays. I put a lot of stuff in the trays and people just rummage around in them. I also have a couple of these stands for necklaces, and I like to have these up, but if it's breezy or windy, they will just fall right over or fly off the table. So I always have them here, and if the weather's good, I'll put them up. If not, I won't. I got this nice big tray for the Halloween jewelry and a hand there to put next to the tray. Of course, the tray is a little bit too big for this box, so I'll just carry it on top. It's just temporary for the next 6 weeks or so. I did try the hand with the bracelet on, and it looks absolutely perfect. So that the hand's going to fit fine in the box. It's just, of course, the tray's a little bit too large. Well, I got most everything in there: the stands, the signs, the cash box, notebook, and other things I need. But now there's no room for the tablecloth or the big tray, but that's okay. I'll just carry those on top. As this thing becomes bigger and there's more variety and this, that, and the other, my needs are going to change, but this is fine. And here it all is without the table and the 2 chairs, just the 2 boxes, extra tray with some tablecloths and the sunshade. I think I'm doing pretty good. People do all sorts of crafts there, including things that are heavier and bigger and take more room, and for that you need a truck or a van. This is just right for the back of my car. Well, it's the night before, and I've got almost everything in the car. I have the table and 2 chairs, the umbrella, and then in the back I have the little wagon and the box with all the props and stands and things like that. I'm arranging things a little differently this time, since I'm going to be parking far away from where my booth is going to be. I put the things I'm going to bring out to the site first in front. So I'm going to bring the table, the chairs, all that stuff. Then I'm going to go back and get the box with the props and the box with all the beaded bracelets and things in it. I also have to put in my purse and my cooler with water and a snack. I gassed up my car yesterday, so I'm really good to go now. Well, it's morning, showtime. I'm getting ready. I'm packing my lunch. I am putting the last of my items into the car. I want to leave here around 8. We have between 8 and 10 to get ready, and 10 everything starts. And if I leave at 8, I'll be there by 8:30, which should be sufficient time. So let's see what's going on here. Well, here's what's going in my cooler this morning. I'm going to have ice water there and hot tea, a cup for the water, some wipes, a plastic bag to put my dirty cutlery and dishes. I have a boiled egg. I have some breaded zucchini with ranch dip, I guess, yogurt with strawberries, a granola bar, some sunscreen, and a fork and a spoon and a napkin. I have an ice pack for the cooler with everything but the tea in there, of course, and I think I'm good to go for the day. I did have breakfast already. The car is completely packed. I have my inventory and the table coverings, a hat, a sweatshirt. I don't know why I need a sweatshirt. It's going to be 92, but it is only 50 right now. And my cooler. I like to be ready for everything. There's the table and chairs from yesterday. Okay, it's 8 a.m. I'm in the car ready to go. Doing this video has kind of shown me how much work this is to get ready and how much time. I didn't really think about it until I started filming it, but I'm fine with it. I enjoy these. It gets me out of the house. It's just it's like a recreational activity, I guess. Keep your fingers crossed. Wish me luck. So here's the recap. I'm going to save you a lot of time and tell you it was a flop. But I also want to tell you what did go right and what could have gone right and why it maybe wasn't so much of a flop, but it was still a flop. I left the house at 8 o'clock, as I said I was going to do, to get there at 8:30, about 10 minutes to 8. There had been an earthquake. I didn't even have a chance to check it because I was trying to get out of the house, but I was in the bathroom finishing combing my hair, and the kitchen sounded like somebody took it and just shook it. There was all these dishes clanking. There's so many earthquakes up here. It's like the house is still standing. You know, we're just going to move on. Later on, a friend of mine texted when I was at the fair and told me it had been a 4.3. So, Should have been my sign. So I got there and I'd done this fair. It had been done for the first time in April, and I'd gone there. It had been like close to 40 vendors, maybe three rows of 2.5 or 3 rows packed full of vendors. Everyone setting up first thing in the morning. And it had been a good one, and I just hadn't gone since then because it had been so hot and I didn't have covering, and then we had this heat wave. So okay, so I get there at 8:30 and I do not see a lot of vendors setting up, and I figure, well, it's only 8:30, maybe they're coming at 9. I don't know. We had maybe a total of 18 vendors. I kind of made a rough count sitting there, and they were all in one row, and I did do a little walk up and down, and they were perfectly great vendors with beautiful items, and we had no population of customers coming through. I mean, almost zero. Between 10 and 12, I think I sold 2 things, and there was just nobody there. The vendors were, talking to each other. I was eating my snack, drinking my tea, texting a friend of mine. One of the interesting things about working at a craft fair like this is that people will come up and just chat. All sorts of issues, problems. I've heard more stories from people I've never even met while just sitting at my table there, minding my own business. They're always interesting, but afterwards I think, I don't know. I don't know what to make. I'm not the type to unburden myself. I don't know. But I heard some interesting ones that made the morning go a little faster, but it was discouraging. And it was hot, but it wasn't as hot as it had been. It was maybe in the 90s, and we're right by a lake, but this was a problem. Between 12 and 2, we got more people. I sold 4 more bracelets. I sold 6 in total. But during that period between 12 and 2, several vendors, at least 3 of the 18 packed up and just left. And I did not see a lot of action with the other vendors. There was one vendor next to me, these 2 young girls who had these crocheted cute little animals, and they had some action. The guy in front of me had, I thought to myself, he is a very good retailer, because I guess he has an antique store, and he had a lot of stuff out there, not a lot of small stuff, a lot of big stuff that catches attention, and he had customers. I wanted to be his customer. He had this cute little chandelier that I would have loved to have had here, but I don't buy anything unless I sell something. By the time I was done, I had made the $20 entry fee back, and I tipped the musicians $5. They were great. They were volunteers playing the guitar and the violin, all sorts of old-timey songs. And that was it. $5 left for gas, which was about right. I might have lost money on the gas. No, I think not. I probably broke even on the gas. But as you can see, there was a lot of preparation, not just creating the items, but also packing and doing all that stuff. And it was good that I did that video, because it reminded me of how much work I'd put into this for so little return. So what went wrong? I analyzed the promotional efforts for this, and even though they'd been doing this every month, I don't know what had been happening in the intervening months between April and now. I know they'd had some really hot days, scorching days, but it wasn't that hot. I mean, it was hot, but it was like in the low 90s, which all things considered was okay. I spent about 20 years before I moved up here doing event promotions. So I know when things are not being promoted well, and this has been a problem with some of these events I've thought about doing or have gone to and done, is when I do a little post-mortem, I look at, okay, where exactly were you advertising, and how were you advertising, and doesn't cut it. Now, I'm going to an event in December, which is being run by somebody who I know, and the entry fee is higher, so I'm going to have to charge more for my stuff. But I called her and I said, listen, I'm going to sign up for this event. I want to support you in this event, but this is the type of advertising I want to see done there. And my entry alone should pay for it. As I told her, this is what needs to happen. And it's not that expensive. It's not that complicated, but this is what needs to happen. You can keep your costs down, but you're going to get the word out and people are more likely to come. So she listened. And I will be calling again. I had a phone mishap. A friend of mine had called me. I hadn't talked to him in a long time about the earthquake, and so we were texting for a little while. I hadn't gone with a fully charged phone anyway, and my phone started to get low. It was like at 18%, so I said, let me charge the phone and I'll get back to you. My charger was not working, and I had fully charged it the night before. It's from Costco. I'm going to have to return it. It has not nearly reached its capacity, so I'm going to be returning that. But I couldn't, it wasn't turning on. Venmo, which is done on the phone, was one of my payment opportunities, so I wouldn't be able to use that. I finally got the charger to work and it started working, but I think I've learned the lesson. I need to charge my phone to 100% before I leave, and I need to get another charger. So if the one charger goes bad, then I have a backup charger, and maybe I shouldn't be doing too much texting or other things on the phone during the course of the event. I like to have the phone not just for the Venmo, but in case something happens, I can be reached. The only thing I am not going to do again is do any sort of last minute jewelry making while I'm there. I had brought those Halloween necklaces with the thought that I would put the chain on them and when I was there. Well, that didn't work because the chain fit some of the necklaces, but it didn't fit all of the necklaces without tools. And I didn't have any tools with me, and I didn't even want to start with having tools with me because things drop, things get lost, things fall in the grass. So next time I am not planning to do anything there except sell. No working on anything. I was able to get, I think, 3 or 4 necklaces up there. I was able to put them together, but there were more that I was not able to put up there because I wasn't able to do it without tools. So what did go right? A lot went right. A lot of merchants didn't get any action, and I got 6 sales. So that was okay. I had an opportunity to try out all the new things I had done. The umbrella was amazing. Saved me out there. Saved me. I could move it around. It kept the sun off of me. It made this experience so much better and doable. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the umbrella. And now that I have the umbrella, I can do other events because at least that's covered. Most everyone else had a canopy. I cannot lift or put up a canopy by myself. It's just too much. So the umbrella it's going to be for now. The way I set things up with the wagon and with the items I had brought and how I had boxed and packaged everything was fantastic. Everything went fine. I parked next to the venue to put my table and chairs and a couple items, and then I was able to park out by the parking area for the vendors, and then put everything else fit in the wagon. I was able to bring it down, then bring everything back up. Because I'm by myself, I can't leave somebody to watch the table while I'm running back and forth and getting things. So I have my props and I have my cash box and I have my inventory. I can't leave that while I'm going back and forth. So being able to take the stuff of less value and leave it there, like the table and chairs and whatever, is not a problem, but I didn't ever have to be separated from my inventory. So that went well. I probably could have used 2 tables, but that's okay. One table was a little crowded, but I got it done. They asked me to come back for October because I had Halloween stuff, but I'm going to be out of town in October and I don't see myself coming back. I will get in touch with them maybe when I get back to see how the October event went, because I do like the event. I like the venue, I like the community, but they're going to have to be honest with me about that because I'm not doing this again. I broke even just on my expenses, but nothing else, and there was nobody there. So I think if you are taking money from people for an event, you have sort of an obligation to bring people in. So unless I see that happening, I'm not doing it. I am signing up for some craft fairs that are out of the county, There's one I used to always go to in a nearby county, always was great. And the only problem I've had with that is that a couple times I've wanted to go there just to visit, and it's been really stormy weekends and getting down the mountain. So I'd hate to pay for that and not be able to get down the mountain. Though I might, if I do that, I might spend a couple nights with somebody down there and just not go up and down the mountain. So thank you so much for hanging in there with me. This has been a very long-winded video, but I hate videos that are part 1 and part 2. I just hate them. If I sit down and watch a video, I want to see it start from finish. So I figured if you're like me, you'd like to see that too. Am I going to be continuing to do these craft fairs? Yes, I am, but I'm going to be more careful about asking people what their promotions are and giving advice and making demands. I seem very nice in these videos, but I can get pretty bad if I want to, and but it's all for the greater good, right? So thank you again for watching, and fingers crossed for the future.